Good day. These are your Tribune highlights for Wednesday, February 4th, 2026, brought to you by your Daily Bahamas headlines. We begin with the lead story. The Tribune reports that former NBA player Rick Fox has officially joined the Free National Movement and been ratified as its candidate for Garden Hills. Fox's entry comes after criticism of the political status quo and follows the departure of Adrian Gibson. Party officials say Fox's profile and international experience could energize voters, while critics question whether celebrity appeal will translate into grassroots political support. Fox says he is motivated by public service and the need for reform, signaling what could be a closely watched contest on public health and regulation. A major Tribune investigation has exposed what the government itself describes as unlawful and unsafe pharmacy practices. Prescription drugs, including antibiotics and other controlled medicines, were reportedly being sold without prescriptions, proper labeling, or adequate patient counseling. The Ministry of Health says a new bill is being prepared to strengthen enforcement, modernize outdated laws, and close gaps that have allowed unsafe practices to flourish. Officials are urging the public to report suspected illegal drug sales, warning that misuse and poor quality medicines pose serious national health risks. Relatedly, the investigation also revealed how unregulated drugs are entering the country, including through courier shipments and passenger luggage. Authorities warn this gray market trade increases the risk of counterfeit or improperly stored medicines reaching consumers. In healthcare system news, the Tribune highlights deepening concern at Princess Margaret Hospital, with healthcare leaders warning the system is in crisis. CPSA President Dr. Sherelle Lockhart says PMH is in its worst state in more than 2 decades, citing shortages of staff, supplies, and equipment. She warns that the idea of free health care is unsustainable without proper funding, staffing, and infrastructure, stressing that the strain on frontline workers cannot continue indefinitely. In labor and industrial relations, Grand Lucayan Resort workers have now gone 5 weeks without pay for the second time, with staff owed millions in wages and benefits. Unions describe the situation as dire and unprecedented, while government officials insist payments could come any day now. Vendors are also reportedly owed significant sums, adding pressure to an already fragile Grand Bahama economy. Separately, staff at the Department of Information and Communications Technology protested outside the office of the Prime Minister over unresolved promotions and regularization. Union leaders say workers are being left in limbo despite long service, calling for fairness, transparency, and urgent resolution. In business and the economy, the Tribune reports that the government plans to accelerate permits needed for the redevelopment of the Grand Lucayan, aiming to remove bureaucratic delays that have slowed progress. At the same time, officials backtracked on earlier non-sale remarks, insisting development momentum is continuing, even as public skepticism remains. Energy security is also in focus, with warnings of cyber threats to the Bahamas' energy grid. Energy officials stress the need for stronger digital protections as infrastructure becomes more connected and vulnerable to attack. Meanwhile, reforms in the energy sector are projected to save up to $120 million in fuel costs over time as LNG conversion and renewable energy projects continue. On law and order, police investigations continue into a crash involving a government truck, with the driver still under probe 1 month later. In the courts, a father has been sentenced to 15 years in prison for incest with his young daughter, while a juvenile received 18 months for attempted shop breaking. Authorities also confirmed the conviction of 48 migrants for immigration offenses in community and social issues. The agriculture director has admitted weak enforcement as the stray dog crisis worsens, calling for stronger collaboration and better use of resources to address the growing problem. Finally, in weather, a weaker cold front is expected to bring cooler but mild weekend conditions, with breezy weather and lower temperatures across parts of the country. That's a look at today's Tribune. Stay informed, stay engaged, and have a safe and productive Wednesday.